Well, good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the channel. Great to have you on board. Today we're going back up the creek and we're going to start where we finished on the first part of this particular show and see if we can get further up the creek today. Now I'm hoping there's going to be some fish there. We have a king tide today, which is going to allow the water to be a little bit deeper, which will give me that advantage to get up into the areas I want to get up into. Now, bass, estuary perch, that's on the menu this morning. I want to really focus on those and hopefully I can get some catches today. The Hawkesbury River is quite difficult for those two species, but funny enough, when I'm out just messing around and just fishing, I tend to catch them. So I want to get up there. I've rigged up the rods today. I have everything from cicada topwater lures to jerk baits, several types, crankbaits, several types, paddle tails, soft jerk baits, and I'm really going to try and endeavor into the world of the bass and the estuary perch, looking for lots of structures, looking for a lot of backwaters, and we've got to time it though, because the situation is the tide's coming in and then the tide's coming out. So it's real early this morning, around about 6 a.m. By 11 a.m. we've got to make that turn and get out of there, because otherwise the water will drop too much. So we've got a little bit of work to do there. And the nice thing about it is I'm going to drop out of that tide and fish some areas that we came in on and see if there's any fish on the dropout tide. So stay tuned, guys. Let's go fishing. Can't wait to get out there. Let's go. While it's early, it's always good to go and check as we go up the creek to see if there's any fish, especially just before sunrise. That's the best time. And I like to revisit spots and go over them and check them out, because in the past I've caught some very good fish like that, and I really want to try to get some on camera. So here we go. We're going to check a few places on the way up into the back of the creek. Right, first things first, we've got to get the Roy Orbison glasses out and put those on. This allows me to see under the water early in the morning, and I like them to be nice and clean. There you go. Later on I really can see everything really good this early. A couple of nice crankbaits again today. I'm going to be using our successful bait on the first show going up this morning. That's been very good, and I just want to keep on rolling that. Looks like a little tailor in the water. Good and trusty. This is the guy I'm hoping to get a big fish on today if we get lucky. And then we've got our black grubs with a bit of gold glitter and a follow-up bait, which is a full paddle tail this time, nice little small one. And so that's what we are starting our attack with today. Later on I definitely want to get into some topwater baits, some cicadas, and I also want to get some spinner baits going, and you know, just work around for some bass. So here we go, let's get on it. This is the time of the day you gotta hit it. Let's go. Just having a look at my sounders this morning. Plenty of bait fish, as you can see. This is a front and this is a front with a bit of mapping on it, and this is the sides either side. This is the back of the boat either side. You can see a lot of bait fish in the water. That's all little bits of bait swimming around. Maybe a fish on the bottom there, which I'm having a look at right now. So yeah, you know, and we're just on this edge and this ledge up ahead of us. Very vulnerable water for a bait to be swimming, so perfect timing. The weather's beautiful. It's going to be stunning today, beautiful and hot. A little bit of wind later on coming, so we got to be careful of that, but really got some nice conditions. It's really warm this morning. It's really stunning. Making some change ups as I go. Trying to keep all options open as usual. Just trying to fish different species, from brim to flathead to whatever might be down here. Even a Malloway, that would be great, a jewfish, but see I'm going a little bit smaller on the next bait. That's going to just wobble along very slowly. This one gives me a little bit more length, and that's a good thing. So as I came to those rocks there, immediately it feels like a flathead. No, that's a brim. Good fish though. I know it's a good one. So check your drag, make sure it's ready to take it on. I've got the hook set, make sure it can take some line. This is a good fish. And as I said, there were some really nice rocks there. And I've changed the bait up. Oh, it looks like a little lidrick. There we go. Oh, look at that, there we go. So that's a nice little lidrick to start us off this morning. And very nice, I'm happy. So you can see I changed that bait up and they are round, they're active. And I'm just going to get this bait off quick, show you the fish. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen, little lidrick to start us off. Great catch, good start, the morning's looking good, and up the creek number 2 is looking even better. Let's go. So really got stacks and stacks and stacks of baits I'm trying out for this series now, and I like to find the baits that work for tournaments and so on. But I mean, look at this, this is just ridiculous. These are just crankbaits. These are new ones. I mean, I've already got a full tackle shop inside there full of baits. I mean, there are thousands and thousands and thousands and thousands of baits in there, and yet I'm still looking for baits that work. I have some really good ones, and so I like to just keep trying them out, man. You get to competition or something, and you know, you get the edge on the rest of the competitors. That's what you're looking for. So that's why I've got so many baits. I'm going to use this one to try. I did lose a bait right now, which hurts because it was a good bait. It got that lidrick, and I'm going to give this one a go next. It's like a prawn imitation, moving backwards. It's going to look pretty good. Here's an interesting fact for you. Don't worry about the size of your bait being too big. Look at that. That's a little yellowfin bream, and it's taken one of my bigger crankbaits this morning. Can you believe that? So the thing is tiny, man. It's about the same size as the lure. So it just shows you, don't worry about the size of your lure. You know, you're gonna get, look at that, it's almost identically the same size. So a bit embarrassing for me, of course, but I just wanted to show you that. Don't worry about the size of your baits, because they'll take them anyways. Little guy can go back. Unbelievable. Right, so we're doing a little bit of pop in and stop in at the minute, just moving up now. The tide is still coming down. I'm going up a little earlier. I'd like to focus on a few little areas before we go up into the creek. Okay, really got to make sure we get the tides right today, but we'll wait for that water to fill up and then move in. So it's up the river now and up the creek. Let's go. Well, as they say, if fishing was easy, it would be kind of boring, right? So a little bit of a change up needed now. I've got my morning glasses, my Roy Orbison glasses that I use in the morning. Yellow lenses, rifle lenses. So these are polarized, but at the same time I can see everything enhanced in the morning, and allow me to see through the water nicely, but also enhance things when I'm driving, especially when it's dark. Next level, polarized, the sun is out. So change up in glasses definitely helps not only see fish but protect your eyes. So it's getting a bit bright for those right now. Let's get these on. So the tide's definitely shifted and it's starting to move in. I'm trying to stay ahead of it. I want to get as far up that creek as I can today, because that's where the bass are going to be. And past the point where we got to on part 1 of this show, where the tide only let us get to there. So there's a sandbar there, and I don't want to get stuck on it. You have to get over it. And so I'm going to try and stay ahead of it. I'm going to try and get over that bar as early as I can, and it'll allow me to really fish up a good section of water, about 1 kilometer or so of river. And I know where those bass are, so I've really got to get to them to be fishing. Now they'll set up on the moving tide, so coming in and going out, and so I'd like to be a little bit ahead of the game and see if I can get some bites. Now that may be a mistake as well, because I might be ahead of the bite, I don't know. So it's one of those things. Got a little section here that'll keep me busy. It's not full enough to go up yet, but as that water's moving, I'm going to find those grass patches again to see if there's some fish around, like there was in part 1. The main focus is to get past that sandbar where we ended up last time and go further up into the creek. So just keeping the game on and interesting. There we go. Alright, well, we're getting all round today, aren't we? There's a little flathead again, just working that paddle tail, and the bite's on, so that's the reason why it took that bait. And there it is right there, and nice little guy. I'm just going to flick it off quick. Beautiful little flathead as we're going up the creek. There we go, back in the water nicely. Let's get back to it. There we go, ladies and gentlemen. So just to add to this wonderful up the creek show, I've been flipping a few paddle tails, and this is a fish I definitely want to show you guys, so I don't want to lose it. I need to get my net quickly. I definitely want to get this fish in. I can't swing it, unfortunately, it's too big. Swing it, I'll break my rod. There we go. There it is, ladies and gentlemen. So lovely, lovely brim coming out as we move up the river, and it's a beauty. It's a nice 40 centimeter brim, which is really, really cool. I'm going to get some tongs for this one. So there you go, ladies and gentlemen. Now that is a brim. That is what I like to fish for. That is the size I like to fish for. That bait did not even hit the water on that little bank there, and I was fishing a drop off a straight wall, and I got behind that wall. I flipped it and literally hit the water, and it just took off. But that's the size brim that I enjoy catching. That's a good 40 centimeter fish, and that's the ones you need in the competition to do real well. So just a lovely fish as we move up into the creek area today, and wow, what a beautiful catch to start us off today. Lovely. Alright, so she needs to go back in the water, and that's exactly what I'm going to do. So I'm just going to help her out a little bit and just get her to, she's floating up a little bit, so I've got to give her a little bit of help. There she goes, back in the water. Ladies and gentlemen, let's continue. That was a great catch. Let's go. So forever evolving as we go down this beautiful bank here. I know very well from previous competitions further up the Hawkesbury River that spinnerbaits work pretty well. Both estuary perch and bass will take them. They imitate actually schooling fish, so I'm going to give it a try because I'm not getting much luck on just a single paddle tail. So I'll place a paddle tail on there, and I've got a little dropper hook. I'm using a beetle spin setup, and I've changed the blade to a willow blade, and I'm just going to see if that'll bring me any luck. Now, I have caught on this before, so I know it's a good bait, and I just put some 10-pound fluorocarbon on my 10-pound line. I'm going to be using a bait caster for this so I can move it around and flip it underneath things and so on. And let's see if that makes a difference. Right, we've really come into the area now where I think we're going to get some bites, because there is just open water now, no more sludge, clear water. We've got a window of about 2 hours to really try and hit this before we have to turn around. So I've got to really make that time count. Definitely cicadas will work here. This is very calm water, and top water definitely might be something here, but just keeping it nice and close now, working the spinnerbait. I'm certain that a bass, if it sees that spinnerbait just at the right cadence, it will take it. So really feeling much better now. A lot of that sludgy stuff's gone, and now we're just fishing clean, beautiful water. So that's what we needed. Other bank is just on the other side here, so you can see I can work the baits on both sides. Lots of targets to go at now, and just going to work and see if we can get some fish to take notice of our efforts here. Working every little nook and cranny I can find, close to structures, close to stumps. Really just trying to work this bait in as many places as possible. If there's an active fish here, it will definitely go for the bait. So I've got to really just go. Depth of water here is actually quite exceptional, 3.4 meters where we are right now. So really has the potential. Keeping it nice and close, and got to get that cadence right. That's very important, just to keep, not to rush the bait. It's got to go just that right speed. And of course that paddle tail that I have on it will give enough action for the fish to want to have a go at it. Remembering that fish don't have hands, so if they're going to check something out, they're going to hit it. This water up here is just really looking like it needs to look now. A little bit of sun, a little bit of shade, lots of structures. Starting to see a little bit of movement with bait fish around, and it's a good thing. It's a good thing. Food, fish, that's all I have to say. So about the same size as the bait I'm throwing, and that's how you get them to take. You know, you got to get around their food. I'm hoping they haven't fed already and decided that to call it a day. They could be waiting for the dropping tide. Tides do change, conditions do change. I just really think that we're in a good place, and if we just keep on working it. Like, I've fished so many areas in different rivers, systems like this, and have done very well. But got to cover a lot of water in order to get success. Really fishing against the clock though, because of the tide. We've got in, we've got to be able to get out again. Fortunately, with a competition bass boat, that's what they're designed for. They're designed to go in a foot of water. So that's why I have one of these boats, so I can get into the backwaters like this and really hunt down fish. You can see up ahead there, lots of movement, lots of tailor around, small fish, maybe small mullet around. So got the right idea, got the right bait, just got to find those active fish now. Not much surface chasing, not much activity going on. I'm sort of thinking I'm going to have to put this bait right in front of someone if they're going to take it. Bit of the sludgy stuff coming up again, so not perfect, but that's all right. Bit of backwater over there as well. We keep on working hard. There we go. There we go. Righty. That's what we're looking for. There we go, ladies and gentlemen, on the dropping tide. See, that's what I was expecting. So, spinnerbait in the mouth, very good, and bass you can grab in the mouth, just kind of cool. There it is. So I took it really nicely, but on the drop, and there's our first fish coming on board today, second bass and all, and a couple of follows, but that's what we're after, and very cool. So we'll keep on going down, we'll keep on working it, and hopefully there's more of those. That's awesome. Look at that. Beautiful. Beautiful fish. All right, back in the water, and let's get some more. Right, everybody, man, so we've come all the way up the creek and we're at the very tip of it now. And you can see that tide's starting to pull us down. So it's time to turn around. You can't play around with that. Further back down, if you remember, from up the creek one, where we couldn't go any further, I have to get over that area. So you can see the tide has dropped a little bit. I'm looking at the water line. It's starting to drop. It's time to get out of here. We're going to fish on the way back. And the cool thing about it is we're going to go all the way out into the oyster leases with this section. So this is really like starting the show off right from the beginning. We're going from the top. We're going to fish all the way out, and every species available to us. We learned a lot on the way up. It's time now to drop back down and get out of here before we get stuck. Let's go. There we go. Yep. That's what we're looking for. Yes, 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 yes. Beauty. They're right tight into all the... get it up. Oh, there's a beauty, that one. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. There's a beauty. And I'm starting to get some really good bites. I'm fishing really tight, and I'm watching them come out, and they're actually hitting it as they're coming out. So look at that in the mouth. Got that spinnerbait. Literally, this last little section that I've been doing here, I've had several takes as I've come through, and they're sitting underneath all of this as the outgoing tide's going. So there's another beautiful bass, and that's from the Hawkesbury River. Not even half an hour from my house. So it's, you know, the salt water's that way, behind me is the fresh water, and there it is. There is your bass. Beautiful. All right, let me put him back in the water. Stunning. Good catch. So yeah, just flipping in and out really close and just pulling that bait through. And they're sitting right underneath all of this structure in the shade. I've had some really good takes. I missed a few, and I've decided to come back up and risk it and just keep on fishing. It's just having such a good time with these fish, and got a few catches on board now, so I want to keep that going. There were two fish on the way that I did not hook up with. I then flipped after the spinnerbait went in. They went for the spinnerbait. I then flipped in a little grub, the black grub, and they took that as well, but they didn't get the hook. So there's two of them sitting there that I didn't get, and I'm kind of sort of just like fishing backwards, you know, just sort of going with the current, or even if the nose is into this way, I'm sort of just flipping back as we go. But these little shady spots like this inside is where they are. Now the water's just perfect at the minute. I wouldn't have come back up obviously if it wasn't. And I just missed a few places, so this is all I'm doing. I'm flipping it in and into that shady area, and I'm just sort of working it out, a couple little bumps to get it going, and I'm just working it in here. And they're in that back area there where the shade is. So that's what I'm doing right now, and yeah, it's starting to get some catches. Really good. I'm going back up once in a while too, you know, just going back and redoing a few little parts, a nice little pullback, and then nice and slow away. And there you go, right there, look at that. There it is. So that's what's happening. And I mean, I just fished that spot, and there you go again. Beautiful fish this time. This one looks like a nice big, another nice bass. That's it. And as I was saying, you know, these fish are sitting underneath there, and it's just the right time. This is a really good size one. I hope I don't break my rod. But there you go. What a beauty again. And this is one that I fished, and I'd fished an area, and then I went past it and I fished back up again, and it came out and it got the bait. So look at the size of these guys. They're beautiful, man. And literally, you know, the salt water is not that far off here, but because of the king tide, it's so fresh. They're setting up underneath there. Gorgeous fish once again. And finally we got on it. You know, we learned a lot coming up, and I found the bait that was working for today. Every day it'll be a different bait, of course, but today it was that spinner bait, and it's one that I've modified, and that's catching the bass. And there's another one, ladies and gentlemen. Loving it, loving it. Every fish is just beautiful, and it's turning into be a fantastic day out. Let me get that one back in and get back out there. Great, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for watching the show. It's been a great day out. We've done a lot of work today. It was not easy once again, but we did get further up the creek and we got the fish we came for, which is bass. Now on the Hawkesbury, bass are extremely hard to catch, so we did well to get those, and the bite window was open, so I took a massive risk and I went up the river again, and that could cost me on the way down, just saying. So but if I do get stuck on the sandbar, it's going to be 6 to 8 hours. Beautiful place to get stuck in, but I'd prefer not to. So I'm going to run for it now, and I'm going to close the show here. It's been great having you on board. Please subscribe, help me out, man. Let's get this to the next level. Plenty shows to come, and I'm going to throw a few shorts out there soon as well. It's going to be good fun. So guys, thank you for watching. Always a pleasure, and we'll see you on the next show. Cheers.